And we are back. Pokemon White 2 Hardcore Nuzlocke. The run continues. We are only using Fire-type Pokemon for this run. It's been a whole lot of fun. This is our 6th attempt, and we have made it. We are on the cusp of taking on Team Plasma Colress, but first, we've got Zinzalin, the the scumbag with all of the ice type Pokemon, specifically the Cryo. He absolutely loves his Crygonals here. And we send out our Chubby Camera reversal here, taking the Ice Beam off the top, and we are back to back with Hughes Samurott, which just feels good. We're going to give him a little love tap with our Lava Plume, as it does affect the entire arena here. And I am just a little bit scared. Anytime we find ourselves in these double battles, we can get doubled down from the opposing side on top of critical hits from the Cryo here. The Ice Beam comes down, and thank the Lord that the Leopard goes for Samurott. If the Leopard would have went down onto the reversal there, it would have been all over. We would have lost the Chubby Camel, but we fade with a Lava Plume, checking the Samurott and finishing off the Lillipup. So as long as no pursuit Pokemon come down here, we are going to get the Stretcher, we are going to get the Parachute, and get this beloved Camel to safety. This run lives and breathes with the Camel here. He does have two debilitating weaknesses, 4 times weaknesses to water and grass, but that is okay. We still love him, and we love what he brings to the table as we send out Aspersha, our Emboar, to switch things up. We tank that Ice Beam, saving the camera. Beautiful stuff, and a stab Aqua Tail comes down from Hugh's side of things. The Watchog tries to tank it, but cannot, and also falls. Beautiful. Cryo is just chilling here, and now we have both starters back to back against Zinzalin, and we have the leftovers for reprieve as well. A Scolipede gets sent out to join the battle here, and I think we are in a beautiful spot now. We don't have that neutral typing with the ground type, and we have that firefighting, so these moves are going to be not very effective as a Steamroller comes down and squishes the beloved Samurott and gets absolutely nuked by the bug poison type Pokemon as a Fire Punch gets thrown across the battlefield into Cryo, and it is enough to one-shot as those defenses are paper thin, and now it is just a Scolipede versus an Emboar, and I do believe I know which one I would put my money on, and it's going to be my Aspersha, as we are going to get another reinforcement from Hugh, though. It's going to be the Pheasant here, if nothing more than a distraction. The Weavile comes down. We do have a 4-time super effective Arm Thrust. We also have another Fire Punch lined up. We don't need to mess with those rolls here as the Ice Shard comes down. It is priority, hits the Pheasant, leaves him at half HP, and it whirls up a Whirlwind here, going for that 2-time move. Was that Razor Wind? It's just such a silly move. It's really not that great. It's like a wannabe Sky Attack. But anyway, back to the commentary here. Weavile goes down to the Fire Pig. Beautiful. And now Scolipede is all alone. There are no reinforcements. There is no one here to save the Team Plasma Grunt as Aspersha gets some health back with the leftovers. And Scolipede's thinking about life, thinking about better times, thinking about its family if it has one, as the Fire Punch is going to come down. It gets one more Steamroller off, one last hoorah onto the Pheasant, but does not do enough. And the critically acclaimed Razor Wind comes down and actually gets a crit and one-shots the bug. Look at that. Absolutely. Zinzalin is defeated, and now let's go knock on the door of Colress and show them what we're made of. Right? Roll out a Scooby Snacks, right? Scrafty's like, bro, you don't respect me? Okay, well, I'm going to take what you cherish most with my high jump kick. Thankfully, we barely tanked that, and we live to fight another day. Let's be a little bit safer on our way to Colress, shall we? All right, time to take on Team Plasma Colress. He's got 5 very strong Pokemon, and we've cooked up a little strategy here involving the Chubby Camel and the Fire Pig. So let's see if this thing works out. We're going to have to tank a Tri-Attack from the Eviolite Magneton. No problem. They're really good stuff. We did get some special defense EVs onto the Camel, which is really nice. Just make him even more bulky. She's holding on here. And I'm not sure if we want to curse up and try to go for a sweep for that, but really we're just going to go for the yawn play, get Aspersha out there, and see if we can sweep with the Fire Pig as we did in the 5th gym. So Aspersha comes out here. We've got the work up, we've got Fire Punch, as well as the Flame Charge and Armor Thrust to potentially work around the Sturdies, as that is the only reason why we're not using the Darmanitan, is because Magneton and Magnezone both have Sturdy. So we have prepped our 1 Paralysis Berry for this moment. We live on that, but if we get paralyzed here again, can the Arm Thrust finish? And it doesn't, and that means we are going to get paralyzed, and now there's really no way I am willing to roll this for a potential sweep, as the Magnezone is going to have a field day when he comes out. And then if we're paralyzed 1 or 2 times, that's all it takes to get completely shot down. There's also a Behemoth with Psychic that could kill the Emboar. So that initial game plan is completely gone as we chuck the Camel back out there for yet another Yawn. We have used up Colress's full restore, which is nice. But now we're just going to go into plan B with the Camel, and we're going to have to mix and match here. As I just mentioned, though, really Magnezone and Magneton have that double sturdy. So if we can clear those 2 Pokemon, then we can get the Darmanitan out there and just completely finish the sweep. So that might be our plan B or effective plan C if we can make it there with everybody intact. So the Yawn comes down, reversal cursing up here, +2 attack, +2 defense, and you really don't care about the speed since the Camel is almost always going to be the slowest Pokemon on the field. So Magneton barely holding on with the Lava Plume. We could have gone to Earthquake there, but no problem. We're just staying with the Lava Plumes, and the Magneton is secure. So Magnezone comes down, does have Sturdy, and we're just going to go for another Lava Plume just in case we get the burn and it effectively goes around the Sturdy. That would be glorious, and it does not, but that is okay. We've got 2 curses. We are doing wonderful here, and it goes all in for an explosion. It sacrifices its UFO body, and the Camel, can it hold with a +2 defense on top of its naturally defensive stat? And it absolutely can. Reversal, she holds sub 50 HP with leftovers, beautiful stuff, and the Kling Clang comes down. It does have an air balloon, so we can't hit it with Earthquake. We could stay in, we could maybe get a Lava Plume, a Yawn, as Kling Clang does like to set up with that gear grind, but this could also be the moment just to swap into the Darmanitan. So maybe hit him with the Yawn and open the door for the Darmanitan swap, and then we can sweep the last 3 Pokemon with our beloved sweeper. So the shift gear does come down, and we do get the Yawn off. So this could work out in our favor here. Culver's really pushing us to the edge here, making us come up with these on-the-spot strategies, which is really nice. You want to keep being able to adapt to these fights. There's so many times I come in with only one plan and then lose Pokemon because I was not smart enough to figure out, well, what happens if this happens? Now, there are going to be some like crazy outliers like double crits or really, really bad rolls, but you got to plan for that. You got to plan accordingly. And right here, we're seeing it pay off as Nimbasa comes in with a Fire Punch, fades on the Kling Clang, and that only leaves 2 Pokemon on Colress's side. Metane comes down. There is no Sturdy. There is nothing that can hold this Fire Punch Darmanitan at bay, and that's another Pokemon down, and the Behemoth comes down as well. Now, this one is not super effective, so it might cling to life here, and it does with 1 or 2 HP. A Psychic comes down, it is stab. No critical here, and we do live, so a little bit tipsy. The Citrus Berry, just to bring us to a safer space. We didn't need that, but it is no problem. The Fire Punch finishes the fight. Colress is defeated, and all team members are still alive. All right, we are at the Giant Chasm, and you know what that means. We have been here before. It's time to take on White Cheren, boasting that level 55, and if we can clear him without losing anybody, it's a 6v6 versus Team Plasma gets us. So here we go. We send down Castle. We're going to be piggybacking off of the FlygonHG strats once again here, as he has really paved the way for a lot of these tough fights that we get in the corner on, and we're just like, how do we get out of this? And then we can follow his game plan, and then it always goes wrong. It really does, and then you just kind of have to mix and match from there. Reversal eating the Dragon Breath is unfortunate. We are paralyzed, but really all we need to do is tank enough to get this Yawn off, which is just beautiful. No problem there. The light screen keeping those special attacks at bay. The Camel eating the physical attacks, no problem. And now Nimbasa comes down, has to tank a slash. It doesn't crit, and I think we would have just held on if it did. As the magnificent legendary falls asleep, we go in for a neutral Fire Punch, given that Dragon Ice typing, and we're just going to lean into yet another leftovers for reprieve. And now Getsis, I think you know what this means. It's a table for 2, and let's see who comes out on top. So Getsis has always been one of my favorite fights. He's got such a fun and menacing team. It really fits who he is as a character as well, which I really like. But he's going to send out that Coffagrigus first, my beloved Coffin, and we're going to have to use the Coffin to our advantage as we're going to set up here with yet another sweeping strat. These monologues are all about the sweeps. It's really tough, and with the fire typing, it really screams brute force. What can you do to set up and just get someone in there and completely go to town? As the Volcarona gets that light screen up, tanks a Toxic, no problem. The Coffagrigus thinks he's doing his job. He thinks he's doing a very good job here, but it's just a means to an end as we swap into reversal and the protect cheese comes down, but it fails as it does. We lean into the yawn. We're going to put this Coffin to sleep as we are up to something, and maybe gets his nose, maybe he doesn't, as our camel gets toxic poisoned as well. But now for the third swap coming in, Nimbasa, the road has been paved. We have to tank a Shadow Ball, but remember the light screen is up, halving that damage, no problem. Leftovers for reprieve, absolutely. The belly drum comes down. The leftovers is slowly going to be chipping that up and up and up as we go through this fight. So we are +6 attack. We've got to remember our speed and attack are completely maxed out from those glorious EVs that we spent so long getting. The Coffagrigus comes down, is gone, but not forgotten. We do lose that sheer force ability, but no problem. With a max attack and max speed, it does not matter. The Seismitoad comes down and is just an offering to the hungry Nimbasa. She hasn't eaten in days and she's ready to go. The Seismitoad falls, and now only 4 Pokemon remain. The leftovers have already got us back to half HP. No problem here. We're going to go with a Stab Fire Punch against the tanky Drapion. This is going to be beautiful as well. 3 down, 3 to go. Nimbasa completely flexing. Who let this Darmanitan loose? Who let them run around the zoo? The Hydreigon comes down. The return is enough damage. It does just about what Earthquake does at this point in the game with those friendly values, if that even makes sense. The triple-headed dragon falls. Electros, a very stubborn Pokemon. No weaknesses with that levitate ability, but everyone has a weakness against this Darmanitan. Nimbasa doing work right now. The Electros falls, and that only leaves the Toxicroak. And honestly, if you want to crit a Sucker Punch, I dare you, sir. We are here for the sweep. I'm here for the sweep. We are leaning into a super effective superpower with the fadeaway. Drop back. That's not very effective because you're poison. You're poison fighting. So on rewatch, I almost threw there. For some reason, I thought the stupid Toxicroak was dark fighting, and I completely blundered that. I didn't even realize that the first time through, but our damage was so high it didn't matter. Yeah, absolutely wrecked gets this. That's a little bit of disrespect on top, but I will take it. And now we got to prepare for Victory Road and Hugh for the last time. Oh God, dear God, these veteran trainers, thank you, Celestial. Thank you for holding on. That's going to be strike 1. That is going to be strike 1 in Victory Road. Okay, we got the Durant here. Oh, goodness, Shadow Claw, please don't crit. Please don't crit. Okay, we're going to call that strike 2. We're going to call that strike 2 of Victory Road. Let's not strike out. I was never the best at baseball, but I can get around the bases. This is no problem. The Ferrothor comes down and is just a parting gift to the Chandelier. Nothing bad can happen. Nothing bad can happen on our way to our rival. What are you talking about? And strike 3 comes in the form of veteran Portia. We've been here before. I don't know how many runs I've been here. At the very end of Victory Road, there's 2 veteran trainers. She's right there on the steps that lead you to your rival. We send out reversal. I knew she had a Zebstrika, so I had the ground typing lined up, but I had forgotten that she had a level 54 Starmie, so I needed to set up on the Zebstrika with the camel and then swap into maybe like Nimbasa or someone else and just sweep. But instead I was like, oh, Zebstrika is electric. Let's just one-shot it with Earthquake. And now, as they say in the industry, we are going to pay the ultimate price. Castelia pivots. We get that special defense bump just to hold on to the surf. And because we max speed EVs, I'm hoping we can get a bite flinch 2-timer right there. And instead, the Starmie outspeeds. And we have our first casualty of the 6th run. And you can feel the bead of sweat dripping down right now. You can be like, oh, we were this close. You always get comfortable. You're like, oh, we're doing so well. We didn't lose anyone in the 7th and 8th gym, and then Colt Rissing gets us, and we are just doing so well and patting ourselves on the back only to get shish kebabbed right here, right now. Celestial tanking a stab, super effective surf, and gives everything she has with the last bit of light, the last bit of flame in her Chandelier. She fades on the Starmie, but it's not over as a sock comes down. Another run killer right here. Is Castelia's death in vain? We pivot back into reversal for a potential Setup, we eat the rock throw. It does a critical hit. Of course it does. It was a rock tomb, rather, a critical hit rock tomb. We were already slower. The bulk up comes down. We go for the yawn. No problem. Can we tank anything? Do we need to swap? Can anyone tank anything? The brick break comes down. It is bulk up. It is in favor of the blue. Karate get up and camera falls. The chubby camel falls. Normally, I would have swapped into Chandelure to eat the brick break because of the ghost typing, but we can't use Ducklet. It's just here for HMs. I obviously didn't want to lose Nimbasa, but my actions have consequences, and I have to live with the results today. And it's just brutal. Nimbasa does come out at the end. Not only do we lose our first, we lose our second against veteran Portia on the steps of Victory Road right here. You make it all the way just to lose these two. To be fair, Castelia was probably going to stay in the PC, was going to be there for a sacrificial if need be, but Reversal was 100% going to the Elite Four, so we are going to have to bandage the team, plug the holes in the ship, and turn this bad boy around. All right, as far as the veteran Sterling right after Portia here, the only person in between us and our rival Hugh is going to have 3 Pokemon. We send out Celestial this time. We're not messing around. Stab, super effective Flamethrower. The Bear Arctic goes down. The Bear Tick falls. Golurk comes down, is a little bit of an allusion to the Ghost type Elite Four member that we are on our way to. We're going to do a Stab, super effective Shadow Ball. Beautiful stuff. Chandelure hits the Elite Four level cap. No problem there as Throw comes down. And now I'm just like, bro, come at me. We've already lost too much. Do your worst, as Throw does tank the Shadow Ball. Sits about half HP, but you just reload, shoot another arrow from the quiver, take down Throw. Beautiful stuff. And now, Hugh, me and you, buddy. Me and you. Okay, we've lost the camel. We have lost my beloved chubby camel, who was just going to set this fight up so safely, so easily. We only have one yawn user left in the Fire Monkey, who is incredibly fast, but so squishy. So this is terrifying. We're going to send the yawn out. We're going to put the pigeon to sleep here, the Un Pheasant. A Stab Facade comes down, and my gosh, if this crits, we lose Lost Lauren. Thankfully, we hold on, get a little bit of leftovers for reprieve, as you do. And now we are swapping into Nimbasa, and we have to live above half HP here for the belly drum to work. Please God, live above half HP. And are you serious? That is dead on the line. I don't give a crackerjack. We are going in. Belly drum comes down. All I need is 1 HP as we outspeed and outdamage every single Pokemon on Hugh's team. Give me a dozen HP and I will make this happen. Nimbasa comes down with a Stab, Fire Punch, max attack, max speed. Give me the belly drum. We've got this. Bouffalante comes down. Give me another Fire Punch. I want it all. Punching that ticket to the Elite Four. We've come too far. There's too much time poured into this run. Attempt number 6. Samrock comes down. Our rival starter. I don't care. Return comes in. You can't touch this. Darmanitan is on fire. From Nimbasa with love. Semi-Sage comes down. Stab, super effective Fire Punch. Fade away. Buzzer beater. Let's win this run. But as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it. And I will catch you on the flip. Peace.